Hi everyone. I wanted to do a video about One Book July, my bullet journal I guess this is the last week of July. It's the Thursday of, I don't know, what is it, week 3, week 4, but we've got a few days left next week. Next Thursday is the 1st of August, but I wanted to do this now because I haven't done a video in the middle of the month like I wanted to because of a certain reason, which I will tell you about later. So I want to tell you about some things that I have done that you haven't seen. I'm just trying to avoid the page with my phone number because I can't be bothered to cover anything up. Right, so there's my index. As you can see, I haven't done much. I have a couple of things to add, but I'm concentrating more on the pages rather than the index because that's something I can add things to later. So there's July, the monthly spread. It doesn't have much on it. I am definitely going to modify what the month structure is over time. I've started setting up August, but basically I put in all day events, appointments, tasks to do on specific days, and then the recurring tasks. And the page numbers, I think I forgot to tell you this last time. The number in the kind of quarter circle is the page number that the daily log is on. And if it's got two numbers, then I started it on this page and carried it on this page. When I did a weekly spread, I would put the page number here, but I've stopped doing a weekly spread, which is why the monthly is important, because I'm not using weekly spreads. My mum's finish times for work are on there, and I don't know what else is important. I will fill the blank space with the to-dos, appointments and things that I would just use ticklers for on the page. What I want to improve in future is to perhaps not write out appointments so much if they're not important for me to prepare for. If they're just a general reminder that I don't need to have a visual reminder of, rather just the little bullet circle there is enough to just tell me I've got something that day, and maybe a number to indicate the time, and then I can write the actual information about the appointment here. I would like to use the box, each individual box, more for logging important things that happen that day, so that I don't have to go through the daily log to find out when was it that that my dog had to go to the vets or anything, but rather not use up a lot of space for things that I don't really need to refer back to, but to log things that I do need to refer back to. So, as I said, the weekly planner page wasn't really working, and here is a daily log that I don't know if I told you last time. When I have finished everything on the page, as indicated by all the crosses in the boxes, I put a tick in the corner. This is my future log. It might change in future because I'm still reading the bullet journal book, and it's taken me ages because I've just not got a lot of time at all at the moment. So I prefer the way that Ryder has divided the page into 3. So in each spread you've got 6 months, and what I'm going to do possibly in future is do that with the month drawn in the corner of each box, so that I can circle the days when I've got something. It's easier then to find which month things are in if it's divided into its monthly box, rather than having to put them all together in one list. some things I haven't done yet, and the reason why I haven't migrated them is because I'm waiting until I get to the section of the bullet journal book to know how a rider says to migrate them, and then I will do so according to how I have decided will be best for me to do that. I don't know if I elaborated on the column here last time. I can either put when I'm scheduling something, particularly if it's going to be done very soon, like this weekend or tomorrow, or a specific date that's it very soon, rather than putting it on my monthly page. Or I can carry it over by drawing an arrow, write ASAP or a specific date, etc., etc. But I think what I might start doing is writing something that marks it as a topic. So if I were to say, oh, I can't remember what day it was that this happened, so let me go and find all of the any of the bullets here, rather than having to read a whole bullet, but note it down here. I will just maybe write the animal's name if it's about one of my animals, or something like that, so that at a glance I can see, oh look, this is the line that's about X. It's a bit like the Asian system that DIY Fish uses. She calls it life mapping, where you colour a square at the edge of the page so that when you fan through the pages in your book, you can see where a specific thing is because you look out for the specific colour. Well, I could do that along this side because this column is at the edge of the page, but not on this side. So I don't know if I'm going to start to colour this side of the page. I might do, or I might just write it in the column and just open the book up rather than flick through the pages. I showed this last time. It's my monthly rota. If you want to know more about it, I will do a longer video on it when I talk about how I set up each month, but I need to get my system up and running better, more efficient, so that I can tell you about it, which will be in a few months' time. I keep adding tasks here as I need to. More daily logs. Here's my currently pages. I love to have these in my planner. I wouldn't say I always have them in there, but when I do, it helps because I used to use it in my planner, and I would have sort of a projects list, and on my mind, a keep in mind, as in this is the thing I keep thinking about. And then another thing is this is the thing I need to keep thinking about, but I don't keep thinking about. So keep it at the front of my mind. I might put a reading list in here as well because I haven't been reading much lately, and I really do need to get the books finished because I'm really good at starting new books. I'm really bad at finishing the old ones. I've got a book that I'm about 73% of the way through. It's about Elizabethan Jesuit priests, and some of it is quite depressing because it's non-fiction, because it talks about them being imprisoned and tortured and things, and I hate the bits about torture, which is why I kind of don't want to finish the book, because it might have some more bits about the poor priests being punished for their religion, which is an awful thing to happen to anyone. We say in hindsight, although that is still happening in some places in the world. But I'm really good at starting new books, so I kind of need to be able to tick them off in here. I think I have about 17 or more books in my currently reading section on my Kindle, which is crazy. So I'm going to keep adding to this section, and that will be part of my how I plan video, because when I've got some time, like let's say I've got an evening where I've just not got anything scheduled, this is one of the sections that I will go to be able to pick something to do. And I will prioritise it by saying that there's must do, should do, and want to do. And obviously you prioritise the must do, and then second category is should do, etc. So I can then prioritise each thing in here and pick the most important things to do first. This section I'm not very happy with because I labelled the whole page lists and codes, and I feel like that's only going to be a small section. Basically, it's when and I'm just looking on my daily logs, I've developed a new bullet, which is a dash, and I know it's not the same as riders, but to me a dash means a list. So I write new hairbrush here, and it means I've got to put it in a list somewhere. And what is that list? Oh, shopping list. SL, shopping list. I don't have many lists that I've put down at the moment, but I'm going to put the shorthand for them here, or the tickler or whatever, the abbreviation for them here, so that Oh, hello, Rosie. Hello. She meowed. She hardly ever meows. You good girl. Would you like to say hello to the people? To the people? Yes. Say hello, Rosie Pie. Rosie and her sister Ruby are 1 year old this week, approximately. We rescued them. We don't know exactly when they were born, but we think it's around that. Yeah, hi, pretty girly. Good girl. Yes. Oh, they're lovely. So I think in this section I might somehow move the title. Maybe I'll stick a bit of washi tape over it and just have this column for lists and codes and then another column for sections and their codes. But I'm not sure about that. But basically, it's so that I can transfer it, I can migrate it to another section or to another book. So another, Filofax or some other place where I've got the list or the project section or something. And this symbol here corresponds to daily log. I might not have any in here, but you can see all the arrowheads. The up direction arrow indicates it's going to another book, another Filofax or something. So then here it also helps me to know that my shopping list isn't in this book, although obviously I'll come to learn all of them. But my shopping list is in my notebook in my handbag, etc., etc. This is my gym tracker, and I did have it in my book last time, but I forgot to show you. I am doing Couch to 5K, which is something that has been around for a few years, but it's been promoted recently by celebrities here in the UK, such as Jo Wiley, who is a DJ on Radio 2. She is one of the voices on the app, and basically you download the app and you go through it 3 gym sessions a week for 9 weeks, although I'm only doing 2 gym sessions a week. So each week or each stage is 3 parts, and you go from being a normal person who sits on the couch all day like I do to being able to run 5k in the 9 weeks that you're doing it in 30 minutes. And before I couldn't even run for 5 minutes. So you go from doing a minute of running and a minute and a half of fast walking to, in week 2, a minute and a half of running and 2 minutes of fast walking, etc., etc., until you get to week 9, where you are running at whatever speed, but you should be faster than week 1 to be able to achieve 5k in the 30 minutes, and you don't have any breaks of walking. And that will be amazing. I've never been fit. I've never been sporty at all. I hated PE in school. So it would be amazing to be able to run 5k, because I'm 30 now. I've never been fit. And it would be great in my 30s if I could even just run for the bus without a break. So I'm logging here. I've logged the run I did before, including why I had to give up after 5 minutes. The lactic acid was building up in my calves, which is still an issue. I had problems to breathe in a way that you are supposed to. It was hurting my chest, and I was wearing uncomfortable trousers. I'm recording a video, Mummy. And so, as Ryder says, try to learn from your mistakes. So I wrote what I can improve to be able to run more, which is don't wear the tight yoga trouser type yoga pant jogging bottoms. So basically I wear pajama bottoms. I've never used them as pajamas, but that's what they are. They are one's from Primark, and it's a Harry Potter. Oh, let me show you. It's a Harry Potter I've forgotten the name of it. The parchment that Harry Marauder's Map. There we go. They're Marauder's Map Primark pajama bottoms, actually. So I love them. They do look funny in the gym. So I'm tracking how I feel, how long I've managed to run for, whether I had to have breaks, so that each time I do the first of a new stage, I can see my progression. And so this is the sort of thing that I will include in my bullet journal. But I'm not including everything, because I only want things in here that I need for long-term reference. I need to be able to look at to motivate me and to remind myself that I can achieve things that even I thought I might not have been able to achieve. Stuff like that. I don't want anything that's too temporary. I wouldn't use it as a notebook because I've chopped the book in half, which means it's got fewer pages. But even with the big book, I don't want to waste paper, but the big book is like this thick, and I don't want to be carrying around a book that's full of temporary notes or temporary project pages. So I'm still using my Filofax for projects, but I'd rather use a full page spread in here for quick reference notes about projects. Here's another daily spread. I haven't done anything in here today. I will probably do so later. And here is a habit tracker. Now, I understand what Romany says about there's no point in using a habit tracker for stuff that you do every day. So I'm using this to build a habit or a series of habits. I have recently had to take on more responsibilities at home, and if I do them, I don't tend to get anything else done, and I'm really feeling that I'm neglecting my well-being by not prioritizing what I need to do so that I feel grounded and like I've achieved something for myself during the day. So I need to be more efficient in my responsibilities so that I can have time to do things for me. So I've got my routines here, and the way I developed that was by making a rota, and this is based on my 2-weekly rota, where it's kind of based on my mum's work rota. These 2 days and these 2 days of the fortnight, my mum is working until 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. on one day. So I have to come home and look after the dog. So that is what dictates what I'm able to do, whether I'm able to go to the gym or not, whether I've got to get home as soon as possible because the dog's on her own and she needs to be let out to do a number ones, etc., etc. So then I structured my days or fortnight around that, and this is what it represents. So in the mornings I have the same jobs before I go to work. The weekend it will be different, but I should still do these things. In the afternoon, these jobs here are for the 2 days of a week that I have to look after the dog. Gym is going to be every other day, and then there's some things that I do some days but not all, and then these are the things I should do every weeknight. So I'm going to use one of my nice pastel highlighters, but I haven't got them out of my Rascog yet, to colour in the boxes when I should be doing them, and then tick them off when I have done them. do a squiggle for it being cancelled. Not that she didn't have dinner, but that my mum did it. And cross it out if I don't need to do it because my room was already tidy and I didn't have anything to tidy. Some things are blank, and that shows me these are things I need to improve on. My morning routine I haven't got down yet, and the evening also. And the things that I'm neglecting the most because I'm prioritising the things I need to do, obviously, are my things, the things for me. So I really need to get that sorted. And just in case you were wondering, feel special means when I'm getting ready for work, I should spray some perfume on myself or put some lip gloss, something that's more than just brushing my hair, etc. But that I should do something where it makes me feel a little bit nice or special, and then I can have more of a spring in my step rather than just thinking I've got to go and run for the bus now. But I feel a bit more special. So at the end of I think it's nearly 2 months, 3 months even, I'm going, or maybe 2 months, I don't know. I'm going to review this and see where I need to improve my habits, or maybe even at the end of each month I'll see how I can improve it. There's my rotor, which is tipped in with washi tape, and there's a piece of paper that I've stuck in for writing temporary notes on, although I haven't done any of that yet in here. And here is August's month, which I'm starting. And that's all I've done so far. And there's another temporary page. So that is what I've got so far. And now I will introduce you to the reason why I have not got time for myself. Although she may be eating her dinner. Let's go to the top of the stairs. Mum? Is Daisy eating her dinner? Oh, no, she's not. Daisy! Daisy! Hello, baby girlie. Say hello to the YouTube people. Good girl. Good girl. I didn't want to disturb you if you were having your dinner, Daisy.
No, she's had her medicine.
Good. You've had your medicine. Yes.
What are you doing now?
I'm showing her to the YouTube people. Hello, sweetie pie. Yes, all of the YouTube people. Yes.
You can show the hand docs as well.
No. They don't want to watch a video about my bullet journal.
Right. I'll be dishing up in 5.
Oh, Daisy. Pretty girl Daisy. Hi, Daisy. Daisy is 4 years old. She's more interested in food than me. Bye, Daisy. And she is a rescue dog from Hungary. Let's go back. She was chained up in some sort of building site, farm, something like that. That's where they found her. Like, you can see a pretty picture of my pretty picture while I'm talking. She was chained up, and we don't know how long for. They said 4 years, but if she's only 4 years old, she wasn't malnourished, and so we think she was looked after for part of it. So we don't know if she got lost or stolen or something after she had finished growing. She's a very people-oriented dog, but she's very nervous sometimes that you might be horrible to her. She's very quick to respond to a raised voice when you're telling her to stop doing something. We try our very best to be very gentle with her because she is liable to sort of react in a negative way, in a nervous way. She's very, very people-oriented. She just wants to be your best friend. Here's Rosie. Hi, Rosie. And she's very food-oriented, which is great because then she'll be easy to train, and we keep training her with treats, so she's very happy about all the food. She's very good with the cats for a dog who's never had cats before, but she still chases them sometimes, so we're still going through training with them. And she loves them, and she does want to be best friends with them, but because she's a terrier, she is liable to chase, and if she corners them, we don't know what will happen, so we've got to be really careful with them. So when Mum and I are both at work, she is in the kitchen and the cats are elsewhere, so that they don't ever meet when they're not being supervised. But I'm sure soon she will be best friends with the cats, and they have started to respond positively with her, so that is fantastic. I'm sure I'll show you more about her in the future, and I want to add some sections in my bullet journal about the animals, but that's something that I will research by watching other people's videos. So if you have your own video about a spread or trackers or anything about your animals, please post a link below. I'm very interested. And I will see you again in future when I've updated more of my bullet journal, because I definitely intend to keep using it after One Book July is over. Thanks very much. Bye.